Try to run the option here. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A nice run there by Sanders on 1st down as he'll wind up with a gain of about 7 before he's brought down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Allen. Quick slant here to Smith. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch. And he loves that. And he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. They'll set up a throw. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, batted free. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
And there we saw one. The downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Allen. And Sanders has got it complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now Allen. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now Allen. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
On 1st down, Harris. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll take this back all the way up 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. To throw, it's Allen. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. 64 was Matt Prater's record. This would top that by a yard. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think at this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Now back to throw. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now here's a throw that's complete, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. They hand this off to Harris, and across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Williams. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Football is such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 2nd down and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking deep here for Ebron. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his target, Ebron. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the two-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now he'll try to run with this. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 57 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
So after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
First down and more for Allen. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good with a PAT. And it will tie our game here in the 3rd. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the save. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there on the catch and run. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On the give, this is Harris. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. The Steelers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, but frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Allen going to keep it again. And Allen will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact at the end. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run, getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Carry for Allen. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To the air, Allen. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run with Sanders. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4.
76 yards rushing for him now to this point.
They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it.
And he's in. Touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles, if they hit the PAT, they will be in the lead. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is...
Now loose football. The ball comes out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball... They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he'll only get a couple here, and that'll bring up 4th down, and they'll have time to talk things over as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. The kick by Elliott is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Pass complete to Ebron.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
He's back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
Sanders a 1st down, still going. And all the way down to the 17-yard line.
98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So fly, Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for the Eagles, they're into the win column for the 3rd time this year as they get the victory here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns.